Rebuild of the favorites. We here for the latest. South side or the north side. Not tuned to the greatest. Home team for the home teams. Both sides got our own rings. On the mound or the long ball. But we don't put the wrong strings. Yeah. It's that time of the year now. So the whole league that we hear now. New show with a new move. Discussions and interviews. Trade rumors that might be. This is Pinwheels and Knife.
What's going on, everybody? About time? No, you can't do that tonight, Mr. Ham, because we're right on fucking time. Yeah, so for all you tuning in live, this is the pre-show, I guess, right now, and we're just trying to get things organized a little bit, but we have to go live to do it. So hold on, stay with us. I have a feeling you're going to want to stick around for this show.
Don't tell them about the can dance you're going to do.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Shit.
All right. You guys ready?
There, a couple seconds.
Hold on. Did I do a mothership retweet? You think I would know where the Twitter app is in my phone by now? Jesus, get it together, kid.
Should have that memorized. Just doing it to look at your phone.
I mean, apparently I'm a viral tweet haver now. So
yeah. That should have been your name, though. That
thing blew up. All right. You guys ready?
Like, how much more action is Madrigal getting now that he's a power hitter?
Madrigal's doing very okay. Have you ever seen his Instagram?
No, I have. Oh, does he have a lady friend?
Yes, he has a lady friend that does not suck to look at. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? It is Friday, May 21st, and you have found the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. I am your host, Matt Swaski, a.k.a. Southside Zoe, a.k.a. Father Zoe. And with me, as always, is Mr. Aldo Soto.
Guys, big announcement when we get to the Cubs portion of the show. I think I'm ready to admit when I'm wrong about something.
Oh, I got one of those, too.
What?
I got one of those, too. Now
I'm wrong a lot, though, so.
Right. And the good Reverend, Mr. Old School himself, K-Fids.
Hold on. Okay, cool. I was just taking 3-0 real quick. Okay, now let's go. It's 3-1.
You've had that in your head all day. That's awesome.
I just came up with that.
So obviously we got a very packed show for you tonight. We're going to talk about the White Sox, the first place team with the best record in the AL and the biggest run differential. We're obviously going to talk 45 minutes about Nick Madrigal hitting a home run. And then if we have time, we might talk about Tony La Russa and some of that other crazy shit that's going on. And that's a joke. We're obviously going to address that first. But and then we're going to get into, the Cubs are picking up a little bit of steam too. Took a nice series against Washington. They're rolling a little bit. So all that and then some. So let's sit back. It's actually today's like the first summer day in Chicago. So let's sit back and let's tap this keg. As always, this show is brought to you by PointsBet. Make sure you're downloading the app, get that thing activated, and take advantage of all the new user bets. They actually got a really cool one this weekend for the PGA Championship. If you're a first-time bettor, you can put it on the board. There's a bunch of prizes you can win as a first-time bettor. One of them being Paige Frederick. We already have intro music too. We already played it.
You're on time.
And then also, the show is brought to you by us because we put a lot of time, money, and effort into this. So go buy a damn shirt, mug, onesie. I don't know what holiday's coming up, but buy something. Father's Day. Yeah. Buy a t-shirt for your dad. Buy a t-shirt for yourself for being a good dad. Buy a onesie. Buy a coffee mug
for yourself for wearing gloves and not being a dad.
Yeah. There you go. Buy his or her coffee mugs. It's all there. We tweet out the link. And as always, if you want to support the show, the link is pinned at the top of our Twitter page at Pinwheels Ivy Pod. So buy a jumper. You can go on the White Sox road trip to New York.
Buy a shirt, even if your sperm works or not, really. Let's be honest.
Then one other thing before we get started here, I do want to shout out that this whole cool new concept of like White Sox Thursday night. If you're watching us live on YouTube, obviously we were on time tonight at 5:30 Central.
And the first time ever.
Yeah, this series. I mean, we joke about it, but like we literally were on at 5:30. This is the first time ever. So we're at 5:30. Our good friend Sox Machine, they'll be live at 7, and then bringing it home will be our fellas. Actually, yeah, I got their shirt on. The good guys from the 108. So you got us, then you got Sox Machine, then you got the 108. If you're watching us live, you can watch us live on Periscope, on YouTube, on Facebook Live. I mean, literally.
Pornhub.
Yep.
You've got fans only.
We're on the hub. We got an OnlyFans.
The Brazzers page is pretty sweet, though. That's the one.
That's a little expensive.
Costs
we show nipple in that one.
And only half.
All right. Fuck it. Let's get into it. So
keep it positive.
I know. To paint the scene, I mean, it's real simple. The Sox were beating the living shit out of the Twins. Everybody was having a good time. Nick Madrigal hit a home run. Yes, stick around for the 108 podcast if you want to be angry about the season tickets, because White Sox, I guess, they're not giving season ticket holders their normal seats. I don't know. I don't have 108 money, so I don't have season tickets. So apparently, but there's a lot of people that are very pissed off. But White Sox were kicking the shit out of Minnesota. It was a great night. Madrigal hit a home run. Everything was going right. Feeling really great. Everything smooth. And then Minnesota punted the game. They're like, all right, this shit's over. And they put in Big Boy, their third baseman / catcher, the Turtle, to come in and pitch. He's throwing 47-mile-an-hour BP pitches over the plate. Yerman gets a 3-0 count and said, fuck that shit, man. And fucking took it and hit it into St. Paul. People got big mad. People got mad. And then when people get mad, then people that aren't mad are mad at the people that are mad. And then the fucking worst 2 words in baseball started just coming out all over the place. Unwritten rule. Oh, it is so much fun. I love talking about unwritten rules in baseball. They're there. I get it. And a lot of them I kind of agree with. But, like, I don't know. So here's my whole thing on, and I could be real quick on this, and then we're going to move around because Kev's going to give insight on, like, a manager's point of view and, you know, clear up some of the things of the unwritten rule. And then I think me and Aldo are pretty much on the same page with a lot of this stuff.
I really only have one question because apparently, I mean, I'll get into it though. But I think somebody missed a meeting on the unwritten rules. But go
well, I need a little clarification. Some things are contradicting themselves that happened in this week, but basically, my whole problem with the whole situation is if Yerman blew off a sign from his manager, yes, he should be dealt with in-house, kangaroo court, in the locker room. I don't like that Tony called him out in front of the press. I understand that you have to teach a rookie a lesson. And yes, Kev, as we talked about before the show came on, Yerman is still a rookie. I don't care if it took him 27 years to get to the show. He is still a rookie in Major League Baseball. But if you blow off a sign from your manager, there should be repercussions for that privately. I do not like that Tony called him out in front of the press. I really hope someone got into Tony's ear and just said, you know what? It's okay to say no comment sometimes. It's okay to just like blow shit off. Like, and Kevin, you brought it up and I thought that was a perfect way to say it. It was almost like La Russa was having too casual of a conversation with these reporters. Like he was just kind of like letting it fly. And like, unfortunately, we live in a day and age where you can't do that because especially Tony La Russa with the scrutiny coming into the season, every little word he says is under 10 different microscopes. So I did not like that. I did not like that Minnesota threw at Yerman, and I get that that's the old school mentality. But in all honesty, I don't really care that they did because now a bullpen that's already shitty is going to be missing a pitcher for 3 games because he taught Yerman a lesson, I guess. But and then Rocco Baldelli coming out and arguing it was probably the funniest argument ever. I was literally like tearing up because I was laughing so hard at Rocco Baldelli arguing it. Twitter was fantastic when that happened.
We're getting some old school play this week from managers. We got obviously the whole Tony stuff. David Martinez getting out the first base bag.
That was great
in the Cubs game.
Love that.
That was hilarious.
You're telling me people that are in their 50s are acting like
people in their
50s? Dear God.
Watch out.
Holy shit. So, you 20-year-old, fuck you. You guys are acting like you're 20. What's wrong with you? You should be acting like you're 12.
But the best thing that you said, Kev, because just so you all know, we have a chat that we use every day, and some days are more lively than the other. It's been very active since the fucking whole situation started. But the best thing that you said, Kevin, that really resonated with me, we've all been on teams where we've looked at the coach as the cranky ass old man. And he was the coach. He's coach. But, like, yeah, we bust his balls. Like, we make fun of the coach. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if the coach wore, like, knee-high tube socks and those old coach's shorts that his left nut was hanging out of, we were all giggling about that shit and making fun of him and stuff like that. You don't go around. I don't think I've ever been on a team. I've always respected my coaches, but I don't think I've always been like, you know what, my coach is one cool motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like, he's not my friend. He's my coach. And yeah, no, that includes you. And so that's just kind of what I saw. And then you saw the live videos, like, and yes, I know TA was commenting on shit, but it's just public what we do normally in the locker room. Like, and you saw the video. The thing that was like the icing on the cake for me was the Yohan Moncada theme trip to New York. And I thought that was awesome. And then right away they took a team picture and Tony wasn't in it. So holy shit. And Yohan live on Instagram, and he gets on the plane, and the second person on the plane is Tony La Russa. He's not in the team picture because he didn't dress like it. Because I can see Tony being like, I ain't doing that shit. But he had a flannel on. Yeah, he had a flannel on a vest. He's a 76-year-old guy. Would have been hilarious to see him in a romper. Would have been absolutely hilarious.
I don't think we wanted.
Actually, yeah.
The guy with the old balls.
Yeah, but I don't know if rompers go over. Depends. But it depends. But he had his flannel on with a vest. He looked like he was about to take little Timmy fishing, like in a Folgers commercial. But Moncada put the camera on him, ear to ear smile.
Absolutely.
And Moncada started smiling. Like, everybody's smiling. Like, I mean, if you guys,
like Tony La Russa Day.
you thought it was dressed
on you guys. It's dressed like Tony La Russa Day. Oh.
But that's it. That's all I have to. I mean, I really don't want to get into it. I just the public shaming I could have done without. Don't blow off signs. You get reprimanded in the locker room privately. Tony did say some stupid shit, but I mean, he just needs to, I guess, kind of tighten it up a little bit to the press. So that's my whole 2 cents on the whole thing. Go ahead, Kev.
Okay. I mean, well, and again, so let's clarify something here real quick, because there's a misconception about the unwritten rules of baseball. And that's what I really want to address more than anything else, because I'm so sick and tired. Again, it's an easy cop-out, intellectual laziness for the young generation to simply chalk up every time someone gets pissed off about something to the unwritten rules. It's intellectually dishonest. So I'm going to say this right now. Here are the unwritten rules of baseball. Number 1, play hard at all times. Number 2, respect your opponent at all times. Number 3, respect the game at all times. All right? Play fair, in other words. That's it. Everything else at that point is subjective. Everything else at that point is based on a case-by-case basis. For example, if Tim Anderson is facing a pitcher that he knows doesn't give 2 shits if he bat tosses, bat toss the hell out of it. If he faces a pitcher that he knows doesn't like the bat toss and he bat tosses it in the guy's face, hey, that's a little disrespectful. That would be breaking an unwritten rule. Now, if he doesn't know if the pitcher does it, you do it at your own risk, and the pitcher will let you know if he likes it or not by the time you're at second base. And for future references, you know. That's one of the things, respecting your opponent. This whole thing with the unwritten rules, it's the idiot Minnesota broadcaster saying that hitting a home run up 3-0 when a pitcher is on the bump that's a position player is the dumbest shit I've ever heard, because it's not an unwritten rule. And that's what gets everything started, is a bunch of homer broadcasters getting ass hurt because somebody hit a home run.
Time out.
Yeah.
I just wanted to add in, like, true. And then also Tony La Russa.
Well, because the questions were framed that way. Most of these players are doing it.
No.
Hold on.
No, that's why I wanted to
Because he gave him the take sign. You're saying because he gave him the take sign.
Exactly, which means
Right?
he thinks it's disrespectful, or what he thinks it's
Okay.
whatever.
Right.
To
And the
not
manager,
do it on 3. And that's why I wanted to say, Kevin, I think you missed an unwritten rules meeting, because do you see the stats on the 3-0 counts and leading by 10 plus runs?
Mhm.
Apparently, like
567 straight people didn't swing at a 3-0 pitch. Yeah, because usually most of those, though, they weren't facing position players. Now, it happened
I think
today,
a lot of those, when you're up 10 plus runs,
bro, this is more of a
especially in
new
the past 5 years.
This has been a newer thing over the last couple of years that people are using.
Exactly. That's literally what I said in the past like 5 years.
Yeah.
A lot of position players pitching.
But here's the thing. Yes, Tony La Russa, who's the manager, again, it's subjective, doesn't think swinging 3-0 at all in that circumstance is appropriate. Now, because he's the manager and because he's the boss, he goes out and McEwing also confirmed they did give a take sign at some point. Now, usually you're not even giving signs with anybody on base usually, but in that situation, I'm assuming they were like, hey, we have signs that when we're up and we're blowing teams out where we're like station to station, et cetera, et cetera. But I think, Tony La Russa, it's missing the sign that got, again, because Tony La Russa immediately was asked in the press conference, would you have a problem with that if it was a 3-1 count and he hit the home run? And he said, no, I'd be perfectly fine with it. It was the fact that he said, take this pitch, and then he swung despite the take. Either he missed it or he ignored it, whatever it is. Kangaroo court handles it. It is what it is. But that, again, we talk about subjectiveness. We talk subjectivity. If the other person in the dugout, now, again, it really should be about the pitcher and the hitter and the fielder and the player, between the players. But you do have the management. And we have to say this. You want to get upset about Tony La Russa saying sorry. Look, managers are in their own fraternity. So if someone like say a manager is a dick to a player, that player's friend on their team is going to go, man, I'm sorry, my manager was a dick to you. In the same kind of breath, this fraternity of 32 managers in Major League Baseball, they have a fraternity. He's like, hey, bro, my bad. That's not us. I've said it a million times as a coach when we've done something stupid, and I was like, oopsie. I didn't publicly castrate my guys in a way that he did. But at the same time, you do have your again, the unwritten rules are subjective, and it's based on who you're offending and who you're not offending. If nobody's offended by it, and this is the thing that younger generations need to understand, sooner or later, you're going to be the old generation. Sooner or later, old dudes like me are going to be dead and gone, and it's going to be your game, and there won't be anybody really left in the game that's going to get butthurt about it in the first place. But to expect and act like there isn't 70 years of fandom ahead of you that don't agree sometimes with some of this stuff is ignorant. It's very narcissistic. It's very much what a young generation does. Every generation's thought my older generation ahead of us doesn't know what the hell they're talking about, and I know better than them, and we're always wrong. They always know better than us in some way, shape, or form. But the unwritten rules are there to protect the integrity of the game in the sense of play hard at all times, respect your opponent, and always play it straight and play it fair. Okay. The biggest Bush League thing that was done with the White Sox the other night was throwing a position player out there that throws 45 miles an hour. That's more disrespectful to the game. That was the Bush League. That and Donaldson, of course, pimping a home run when they're down
That's
12.
Subjective, Kevin.
That is subjective. And guess what? Everybody on the other side would be very so. Bush League, that's what I'm saying is the unwritten rules, but to blame it on unwritten rules constantly, it's such a subjective thing that the unwritten rules, they're not written because it's so subjective that you can't write them down. Now, if a pitcher gets pissed off that a player pops out and runs in front of the mound because that's their territory, they're going to let you know, and next time you're not going to do it. But if you do it again after you're told, then you're a prick and you're trolling and you are now Bush League. That's the whole thing is intentionally trying to offend somebody is Bush League. Accidentally offending somebody in the game is a my bad, I won't do it next time. And then, of course, respecting your opponents and playing hard is playing 100%. You're going to get hurt if you don't. I don't give a shit if you're up 15. Swing the bat. And when we're up 15 in a game as a coach, we are going to hit the baseball and we're going to run it. If it's a double in the gap, we're going to take a double. Now, if it's a wild pitch, if it's a base hit to center, we're probably not going to take aggressive turns and try and score on stuff. But if you pull up, you're going to get hurt. So you do need to stop it sooner or later. And I'm more upset, honestly, that if my unwritten rules, I guess we'll call it, I'm more upset that the bullpen for the Twins owed the game outs and they instead passed it off on a position player and disrespected the game that way. Now the Minnesota Twins bullpen owes the baseball gods multiple outs that they didn't get because they didn't play the game right. They threw it out. Why don't you just forfeit the game?
Well, that's
honestly, hold the guys in the field and just forfeit the damn game. That's better for me. I would respect that more.
You brought up like the bullet and like bring in the position player and like how that's disrespecting the game. I saw a lot of that too, but it's like, I mean, as a manager, as a team, you're trying to do the best thing that helps out your team, not just for that day, but the next few days. Obviously, that day was awful for the Twins, and they've been awful. That entire pitching staff has been horrible.
It's awesome.
So, like, you're not just going to waste more guys in a meaningless game that you're not going to win.
Right.
So how I don't get that argument either about like, oh, I mean, that is disrespecting the game.
What, just the hitting home run 3-0, you mean, or what?
No, like if you're getting blown out and it's like, what was that? The 8th inning, 9th inning? Like, you're not gonna come back. Like, well, most likely you're not gonna come back when you're down 11 runs or whatever it was. If you throw in a position player to pitch, like, I don't see the whole. I mean, that is just
getting upset that shit like that happens. When the minute you bring in the position player, it's happy fun time. It's
exactly.
and the fuck around gang at that point. It's beer league softball. Have a blast. Getting upset with anything that happens after that point is irrelevant. And that's what I understand the old, the older generation, especially. Look, I'm old school, but I'm not that old school. You guys and I, we've had our debates about the bat tosses a long time, since we first started the podcast. And you could tell that I've changed a little bit of my sentiment as well. I've come a little bit around based on, again, circumstance. But that's growing with the game. You have to understand that this is still, Tony La Russa is still, and again, the hyperbole on White Sox Twitter has been absolutely exhausting. Comparing Tony La Russa and following the signs to the Holocaust, a little much. Okay. They were just following orders. Like, oh my God. Okay. Openly wishing for Tony La Russa to die because he's you don't appreciate how he's a manager. I've seen tweets, die old man, literally die old man, or I can't wait till this fucker dies. Like, holy crap.
It's not that serious.
I don't understand. I understand that you don't like him as a manager. Cool. How about this? I don't agree with him as a manager. I hope he gets fired. We leave it at that.
It's not that serious. And so
the minute you wish death on someone, you are creating karma that hopefully doesn't, but may come back on your own family. Like, watch what you say of that kind of stuff. That's bad karma.
So here's my whole thing. And hopefully Aldo will be back in a minute, but your opinion, there's nothing wrong with your opinion.
Correct.
My opinion on it, there's nothing wrong with my opinion on it. That's exactly what it is. It's a fucking opinion. So what I'm hoping to see more of is people actually having a conversation instead of being like, you don't agree with me, fuck you, you're wrong. That's not, no one grows in that. No one learns from that. That accomplishes absolutely fucking nothing. The whole thing of like our opinions are different about a manager for a baseball team leads to like people like doxing people and death threats and like all this other shit. It's like, what the fuck is going on, man? I'm just here to have a good time, dude. Like, shit's getting fucking wild. It's getting fucking weird. It's getting weird on the field, man. But that's all. I just, I try to have a real open mind about this stuff, and like, and then you got people coming in and be like, you can't have an opinion on this because you've never played higher than this level, and it's like, dude, what the fuck is going on? But
the one thing I will say though is the game, you can watch the game and you can understand the game and you can say that you didn't play the game and you can learn the game, and that's absolutely fantastic. But I can say this: if you've never actually been in a clubhouse for a team or a group, it is very difficult for you to understand what's going on. That's what I think a lot of people are misunderstanding the clubhouse of the Chicago White Sox right now, because what goes on inside the inner sanctum of that clubhouse. Remember, clubhouse is indicative of people that are allowed in there. Who's allowed in the clubhouse? Members of the club. What happens when you're in a club? You keep shit in house, right? What goes on in the club stays in the club, skull and bones, whatever. And so you get this group that is in there. And this is what we talked about on our chat is that you saw these guys getting on the airplane and they were having a blast. They were having fun. And this is what I like about Tony La Russa and what he's done. He may say stuff in the press. He may have an old school mentality. He may drive people insane. But you know what he hasn't done yet? He hasn't told any one of his players to stop being themselves. He may have punished Yerman for missing a sign, but he hasn't told Tim Anderson to stop going out there and saying swing away 3-0. He hasn't told Lance Lynn to go out there and clam up and toe the company line. And when Lance Lynn said what he said publicly, the line was great. I thought La Russa said, well, that's great. He has a locker. I have a desk. Well, that's cool. He can have his opinion. I'm the one that writes the lineup. That's it. And it wasn't a meme.
And also, hold on. Time out. Stop there for a second. Because the whole Lance Lynn thing, guys, they've been friends for like 15 years. Like, that's just like Fid saying something and me being like making a smart ass remark about it. The only thing is it's a little bit more highlighted. Like, people like want to get offended to get pissed off, which
microanalyzation
leads me to the next thing, because although lost his Wi-Fi for a minute, he'll be back. But can we just switch gears and talk about the White Sox are 26-16 with a plus 73 run differential. They beat the shit out of the Twins, and then the next night it was a terrible ending of the game. Twins came back and beat them. Well, Miguel Sano came back and beat them. That fuck. But they needed a big game from Lucas Giolito in the day game on Wednesday for a couple reasons. They needed to get back in the swing of things. And keep in mind, the White Sox, they don't lose 2 games in a row this year. Just doesn't happen. But it was also a big game just to get Lucas Giolito, who's been, I don't want to say he's struggling. I don't like how people are throwing the struggling tag on him, but he's been off. You know what I mean? Ever since that Boston start where he got shelled, he's been off. And that's what started the whole, like, people tweeting his dad and shit. But
and just off the
but I just really wanted, and I said I've been doing those Twitter spaces with Josh and Beef Loaf and those guys, we've been doing those pre-games, so you guys should check those out.
Those have been really good.
It's a lot of fun. It's quick, you get to, and it's just nice to talk about different shit. But I said before the Wednesday game, I was like, it just, how nice it would be to have like a big Lucas Giolito performance. And he came out and he did not come out hot whatsoever. And Lucas said that in his post-game press conference, but then he ended up striking out, I think 11. He went 8 innings deep, only gave up 1 run on 2 hits. Both hits were to that mother Nelson Cruz. And you know what they did in the post? They're like, yeah, when did you know that you were feeling it? He goes, oh, not till 6, 7, 8. He's like, then something clicked. He goes, I was trusting my delivery. I was just focusing on my lower half of my body. And it showed, dude. The changeup was back. The slider was nasty. I love Lucas Giolito post-game press conferences because he definitely likes getting into the analytic part of things. Right. And yes. And he's just like, he goes, they asked him, like, what did you do to get the slider back? And he said that Coach Katz put throwing the curveball back into his pitching practice, because with the changeup and everything, he's more on the side. But by throwing the curveball back, we're actually talking about baseball now, although by throwing the curveball again, he's getting more on top of it.
You missed the whole conversation about dial-up internet too, but
yes,
we'll buffer that later.
All those Wi-Fi went out, so he is coming to us from 1986 now.
Damn.
Like me when I came from Cabo, I was doing my phone Cabo.
Yep.
So anyway, his adjustments on the slider, he flipped.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so he could get more on top of the ball. We saw the bite. We saw the strikeouts. We had a vintage Lucas Giolito back. Huge game win. So right now, the Sox have played Minnesota 6 times. They've won 5 out of 6. Minnesota's in the fucking basement of the basement, and I hope more teams just bury them. Actually, I actually want them to play good this weekend because they're playing Cleveland. But I don't normally. So to take a step back,
can I real quick touch on what you talked about with Gio real quick?
Mm-hmm.
For you guys as White Sox fans, and again, he has struggled a lot this year, but it has to give you, it has to, I mean, if you're a baseball person and you've watched the game long enough, it has to resonate with you that in the middle of his outings, he's making these adjustments and he's feeling his body and he's knowing and he's trying to tweak and he's trying to make these adjustments. He's not banging his head against the wall. He's actually trying to make it work on the mound, as opposed to saying, I'm going to force this come hell and high water because I believe that this is the only way to get it done. Instead, he's making adjustments. He's listening to Cats and he's figuring out a way. So him figuring out 7, 8, 9, that means he's gone through maybe an inning in the third, maybe 2 innings even, and he's not his sharpest self, and he treads water until he gets it, and then it clicks. And that's what a good pitcher does. Is a good pitcher gets it, and then once they find it, they get the key in the hole, and it fits perfectly. It's a square peg in a square hole. They get rolling. And to hear a guy say that, and I love the cerebral part about Gio, by the way, because him and Katz, it's obvious that him and Katz have spent a lot of time together since he was in high school because they are pitching minds. That means they're having debates. They're texting probably at night about pitching philosophy and fundamental, delivery, tweaks here and there. I love to see a guy on the mound that is not just a pitcher, not just a thrower, but also kind of what we would call like a renaissance man, someone that is almost coaching himself without having to be told. Now, you need to be told stuff all the time because you need another set of eyes. You need someone to watch from the other, from ground level. But really, to be able to know your body is an intangible that not all major league pitchers have. And there's things that make aces because they can struggle, they can grind, and then they can grind until they get that light turned on. And then when the light turns on,
and it's just nice to see him being a student of the game still. I mean, he's been, DSL phrasing. But yeah, although I think Yumper's hitting on you. You can't see the comments, can you?
I can't. I haven't opened the chat.
He said you got that DSL. He was talking about your internet, but I was talking about
something.
Anyways,
I thought
coming through.
Dominican Summer League account.
Oh, that could be it too. I could be way off on that. Definitely not dick sucking lips. But anyways,
I didn't say it. My parents are listening. I didn't say it.
But it's like they were talking about Lance Lynn, and in the early days when Lance Lynn was pitching, he was struggling until he figured out tunneling.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and now,
whoa!
What?
Did Richard Gere come in and work on him? Wait, what's? Oh, wrong tunneling.
Yeah.
My bad. Lenny Wings.
But to watch Lance Lynn go out and God, I love when he throws those fuck you fastballs. It's seriously my favorite thing about this season. Oh, it's a 3-2 count. Here's a fastball right down the middle. Hit it. You won't. He just doesn't give a shit. Oh, you're Mike Trout. You hit fastballs better than anyone in the history of baseball. Here's 3 of them. Sit down. It's fucking great, dude.
And he's loud too. He barks. I love barkers.
Oh, yeah. He gets into it.
I love dudes on the bump that like are primal. You know what? The Mad Hungarian. What was his name? The Mad Hungarian. He pitched in the 70s. My gosh, what is his name? The Mad Hungarian.
You can look that up. But...
Al Hrabosky. Dude would wear a wig even on the bump, like sometimes just to intimidate the hell. He would be crazy enough just to scare the shit out of the guys in the box. And that was kind of a thing for a bit. And Lance Lynn is an old throwback, like, F you, him and Hendricks both. I like Hendricks too because those guys still talk to them. So I love talk to yourself guys. I love guys that are.
Giolito's a big one too. Giolito talks to him. He does that whole like rocking like.
Mm-hmm.
I love it when you call me Big Pop. But
I wish they would mic up pitchers. I wish they would mic up pitchers for games. I want to hear what those guys are because they might be saying, "Oh, dumpty die, dumpty die, dumpty die." They may say, "Mola ram, hola ram." They might be saying just gibberish for all we fucking know. But
that'd
whatever
be
gets
rated R for sure.
Or he could be like, today I can't wait to go home. I'm going to get a pack of cigarettes. Maybe I'm going to buy some dip. I'm going to get some Cheez-Its. I'm going to buy some pizza rolls, and the pitch is cut. Like I don't know. Some of these guys are weird as shit, especially lefties. So I would love to be able to like have them mic'd up and hear like mic up the glove. Put a little mic in the glove when they're barking in their glove. I want to know what they're barking into the glove. They're probably saying duck. Or frick, or gosh darn it, horse pucky.
Yeah, I think horse pucky is a big one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't want to mic up Bauer.
But Bauer wants to be mic'd up, and because he wants to be mic'd up, I don't want him mic'd up.
He likes to pitch with one eye closed. I'd like him to pitch with his mouth shut.
I'm good with that. Hold on. I just want to show everything.
The offense has been really
well. Yeah, real quick. I just want to show everybody this because it's fucking beautiful. If you notice up here, here's the Chicago White Sox with the best record in the AL. Look at that beautiful run differential. And if you go all the way down to the bottom, there's the Minnesota Twins. Fuck you.
By the way, just looking at that, isn't it incredible? And if you're not, because you're listening, you can't see it. But the second team on that chart, the White Sox are what 73 run differential or whatever.
Oakland -14.
Oakland almost has an identical record to the White Sox, but with a -16 run differential. That boggles my mind that they have that many wins with that kind of a run differential.
A lot of it was like the first 4 games of the year they lost like 28-2.
That helps.
Yeah.
Reliever chasing
some of
the ERA.
Some of the other things though to touch on about the White Sox before they head into New York. Liam Hendricks looks like he found his mojo. Especially on the 3 outs he got to win the game on after coming in for Lucas Giolito on Wednesday because his slider was or slider or whatever. I'm not going to do an Australian accent. Was
no. Do the rest of this.
If you put your retainer in, if you were to put your retainer in, you just call it a slider.
Slider. That slider was snapping. Super slider was snapping.
Who said that? You looking at my head here? Sorry.
Are the Sox going to do an Aussie night?
I really hope so.
I want them to do Tony La Russa night. They can wear like gray sweatpants, black socks, Velcro gray shoes.
That would actually be really funny, and I think that'd be good for team morale. I think it'd be
a really baggy sweatshirt, like that would like almost come over his shoulder because he's not wearing an undershirt and he's just letting those old man.
One other thing too about the Moncada night thing, people were getting on Tony for not. Tim Anderson didn't do it either. Those were TA's normal clothes.
Full mates.
Yeah, no, and all I thought about, King Mac tweeted it out, and it was the perfect analogy of it. Remember when Derrick Rose got introduced at the All-Star game, and like LeBron and Dwight Howard are dancing around, and Derrick Rose is just standing there like,
All this clown show shit.
You clown motherfuckers.
Yep.
That's just Southside, dude. And Tim Anderson has been so absorbed in the Southside culture that he was just like, I ain't doing that shit. I ain't wearing no comic book jacket.
Honestly, guys, I could look at this too. I would pay top dollar for a Tony La Russa, Tim Anderson having to live 6 months together in a condo television, real world style television sitcom. Like I would watch that. Could you imagine those two living together?
It'd be boring.
That's-
Tony would just be sleeping most of the time.
That's true.
He's
It'd
old.
basically be the TA show.
I mean, that's not
Tim
even,
throws
that's not
Tim
even,
throws a rager though.
That's not even like haha. Tony versus old. He's bad. It's like no, like he's just old people.
It would have to be like a TA. It'd have to be like TA and someone else with Tony La Russa as like the guy on the couch.
You guys have to know when Tony ties one on, Tony's the life of the party.
Yeah, Tony was
Let's
like the
be
special
honest,
guest.
Tony's the life of the party. So when he's hanging out with the older crowd, he is
Seems like an
TA.
angry
He's the
drunk.
TA for his generation. He's that guy like, oh, Tony's getting sauced. Watch this. He's gonna sing. He's probably gonna sing Barry Manilow on the karaoke.
He's killing it at the local
Tony.
VFWs.
Oh my God, he had more than 3 orders of that fish at the fish fry last night. Like, and he's gonna. Oh my God, he's gonna sing "Total Eclipse of the Heart" from that young new singer. I would love, yeah, Tony with dreadlocks. Mr. Hand just texted me, goes, could you imagine him with dreadlocks like Floyd from True Romance? I'm like, yeah, I would. I do look at him now. I want dreadlock Tony. I'm here for it. I need it.
But some of the other things back to Liam Hendricks looks good. Yohan Moncada, you done fucked around and let that man get hot. you done fucked around because he's leading Major League Baseball in line drives. He's just, some of them are going right at guys, but he's hitting the shit out of the ball. I think he either broke or tied a White Sox record for consecutive games of having a hit and a walk, which is fantastic. As you know, I'm a big fan of guys taking walks. That's why Yasmani Grandal's having the weirdest, most awesome season this year. And then I have to say something, although in the spirit of what you said at the beginning of the show, this is my public apology. I still don't think you're good, but I'm going to stop busting your balls on Twitter all the time. Jake Lamb, you're okay. I said it. There it is. And later, Aldo. So I said it. Jake Lamb, he's been hitting, been doing okay. As long as they keep him in left field. If he plays first base again, though, I'm going fucking ballistic. By the way, speaking of first base, Kev, have you seen your boy in the field?
I've
Turning
given
sick double plays,
him
laying out.
He's scooping like a third baseman. I told him he's I know, but yeah, he's doing what he does, man. He's a versatile player, and he, you know what? At first, I think he was a little bit trepidatious about it, or a little trepid about it, but you know what? There's nothing more fun. I personally was, again, not to as when I was the player, but I personally enjoy being a guy that could play multiple positions. I can say this. I played all 9 positions at one point or another during my 4 years of college. All 9. My freshman year, I played short, center, and second, and then I jumped around a little bit left, a little bit right. But my junior year, I moved to second, and then my senior year, I shifted over to third. I played first when Big Mike had to pitch. Like, there was so many different things. That kind of stuff is fun. To be Keith Moreland was one of my favorite players growing up. He played everywhere. He caught. He did everything. Chris doing that, it's fun. It's fun to play everywhere. Andrew Vaughn will tell you this. He's played first. He's played left. He's played right. I'm waiting for them to put him in center. I'm waiting for them to throw him at second just for the hell of it. That's fun stuff for that. It is the Glory Days section. I apologize for the Glory Days.
So hold on. So you said something there, though, that I want to final thought, and then we can get into what's to come for the Sox, and we can switch gears a little bit. But for shits and giggles, one of my favorite Sox Twitter files, Pinols, tweeted out what a 100% healthy White Sox lineup would look like right now. And the order of the lineup is not the subject of focus here, but what he had was T at short, Moncada at third, Jose Abreu at first, Eloy in left, Luis Robert in center, Grandal catching, and then Vaughn in right field with Yerman as DH. and Madrigal at second.
Yep.
I'm in. Find me a hole in that lineup. And for all you people that just blindly hate Madrigal, you're wrong because he's fucking playing well. But
I hate you, Luke.
Well, I mean,
But
if
I'm
there
just
is
saying,
a
like-
hole in that lineup.
I mean, if there was, I wouldn't even call it a hole. If there's like a weaker part, it would be Madrigal. But he just hits bombs
No.
now. So
No, you're
Note yourself. Punch Luke.
sorry. Although
in-
I'm sorry, man, it's choppy, dude.
right. Yeah.
Take
No,
it.
yeah, he's a slug man.
I'm sorry, although I caught like 4 words.
I heard slap.
Yeah,
pickle.
I heard slap, and then you laugh.
Magical sucks. It's cutting out.
Nope,
I
I heard that
Oh,
one.
we heard that one.
That one came in loud
He
and
just
clear.
removed you from the meeting. No.
That one came. Oh wait, what's that? Although I think your phone's going out too. Bye.
Skinamax. No, I'm sorry. You know the thing that you love too about Zoe is that you're seeing guys that are getting it done. Again, you're talking about Yasmani Grandal too. Like all of a sudden, those line drives that are being caught are now leaving the yard. He's still taking. I have never. I'm sorry. I have never seen a player.
Greatest stat line I've seen in a long time.
It is one of the best statistical anomalies of 2021 so far. Is the fact
We did say we're on Pornhub now.
yeah, we are. The browser's account is really got 2 followers, and one of them is my grandma, but she's dead.
It's not working, although. Sorry, bud.
That Wi-Fi again, and we'll get back. We can do it, but I love the fact that these again. You get these guys. It's you tweeted this the other day. You tweeted this the other day, Zoe. You tweeted this about the idea of like, look, rookies are going to struggle. Guys are going to have it's 162 games. They're going to have bad moments. Can you just let them go through their? They got to struggle to get back to you. It was a really good point, good tweet, and he just left. It's just. But then Nick Madrigal hit homer.
Yeah, I was gonna say I tweeted that, and then the next game, Madrigal go. It's a homer and a double and shit. Like, you gotta let these kids just swing through shit, man.
It's baseball, man. It's a game of failure. Guys are going to go up, going to go down. You know, the best teams have guys that carry you when the other guys are struggling. You don't want everybody to struggle all at once because then they're like the Cubs.
Right.
You want little contingents to struggle in little bunches while the other guys are having their hot streaks. And then you want everybody to peak at the same time in September. So everybody's hot at the same time, but you want everybody to you have to go through a struggle in this game. You have to struggle. You have to learn. You have to grow because there's so much film. There's so many adjustments. You actually have to go up there and get beat so that you can grow. It's like burning. It's like a controlled burn in a forest fire, right? When you want to keep a natural, like a forest preserve good, like Yellowstone, you do a controlled burn so that it doesn't turn into a full-blown fire. It's a controlled burn. You get those leaves that are on the ground out, and then you do it in sections so that everything is perfect over the course of time. And at the end, boom, hot, roll. And that's what the White Sox have been doing so far. They're so good. I mean, I don't know what you guys expected. I don't know, Joe. I don't know what White Sox fans expected, but this is a team that was lost 2.5 guys, still has the best record in baseball. And I don't know how much better they'd be with the other guys in this lineup at all. I'm not entirely sure they're max effort right now.
That's the thing. I mean, if you look at their record right now at 26-16, they can easily have 30 wins, a couple bullpen fuck ups, and you know what I mean. So,
but that also goes the other way. There's a couple of other opposing team fuck ups too,
right?
Like,
and so
the other way, like so, it's
really
cool.
This is just. I mean, I don't want to sit here and be like, I expected them to be best record in the AL but I expect them to be around here. This is not how I thought they would get there. Obviously, I didn't think that Robert and Eloy would be out. I didn't think that Yasmani Grandal would be pimping a 139, 397, 354, 751 line. I mean, that's just unreal. But they're getting it done. I didn't think that they would be one of the worst teams in baseball at hitting home runs. And still have, if you would have told me before the season started, Fids, that the White Sox would be one of, if not the worst team in baseball for hitting home runs, but they have the best record in the AL, I would have told you started way too early today because there's no way I would think those two correlated. But it's happening, man. And it's a lot of fun, though. Watching this team manufacture runs and shit is a lot of fun right now. And and they're getting it from everybody. Everybody's contributing. Like Lurie went on a little hot streak right there, so all the Lurie legend guys got their little boner for a little bit.
Lamb.
And Lamb's hitting these weird random home runs, which okay.
Remember the 80s? Sorry.
Yep.
Anybody remember that? No, I'm old.
Yes, a lot of receipt pulling because as soon as Eloy and Robert went down, we saw some season over tweets. And remember, I even told you, Fitz, I was like, I don't understand how you could do that. I don't understand how you could call yourself a fan of this team and in the first week of the season be like, season's over.
Alex makes an absolutely fantastic point here. He wants to see how they respond to the first major losing streak before making the tournament.
They don't. I just don't want to see one, but I know it's going to happen. I get it.
You're
right. It's going to happen. I understand that.
Now, here's my thing. Is the sleepy old guy that everyone's worried about a better option during rough patches than the fiery, young, hubris-minded, where all managers have ego, but the young hubris, the AJ Hinch, those are the guys that are going to roll in the dugout. They've watched Bull Durham too many times. They want to go throw a bunch of bats into the middle of the clubhouse and tell everybody to wake up.
Martinez.
They've watched Major League a little bit too much. Or is it going to be like the old guy going, I don't know, figure it out, dude. You're a pro. I'm going to sit here and try and throw the baby out with the bathwater. I need to go powder my ass. I'll be back. You figure it out. I got to go see a thing about a thing. Look at the clock. Like the older guys don't care. You do your process. You do you. And I think Tony La Russa is a hands-off guy. Whereas a younger coach like a Girardi, I can tell you for a fact, Girardi sucks in the clubhouse when his team struggles. From experience, from the person that I've spoken to that played for them, he ruins a clubhouse. He was Mr. Excitable ego. Let's go. We're going to bash our heads through it and get it done. You don't want that, man. In 162 games, you want the guys to go,
read the room, dude.
Slide it off your ass. You'll figure it out, dude. You're fine. And I love that. The guy I coached with, Coach Witt, same guy, same kind of guy, mentor. Literally, it's, dude, the guy's going to figure it out. He's a senior. He's a stud. He might be over his first 12. Just let him play. He's going to figure it out. Don't mess with his head. Let the dude work through his process. And I think the old guy lets the ship right better than the younger guy. The younger guy forces an issue, I think, a little bit more.
Here's the last thing, and I'm kind of mad at you for making me talk about La Russa again, but
I'm just talking about how they
but
into a bad streak.
One thing that I do want to say on the show recorded, I think Tony La Russa gets too much blame that's unearned, but I also think people give him too much credit for shit. Fair. I think it's a weird thing with him right now, and it's just weird to me. The whole thing's just fucking
weird thing to think that a manager, it has been proven, a manager has no more than a +2 or -2 impact.
I don't get it. I don't get it, but whatever.
But everyone was micromanaging, and there are people that wanted AJ Hinch, and they wanted a guy that cheated in the World Series as opposed to allow guys to do steroids.
Well, how's he doing in Detroit? I mean, I thought Detroit would be a way better team than they are right now.
Got a no-hitter the other night.
Cool. So did 6 other guys this year because they're playing with a rag ball. But
it's gonna be a great story when the season's over. You guys are gonna love the video. The DVD is gonna be classic. I hope they include the tweets.
But right now, the White Sox, like I said earlier, because it's no secret, I gamble, and the White Sox don't lose 2 games in a row, which is fantastic. And I think that goes a lot to the character of this team. And hopefully, the losing streaks are definitely going to happen. White Sox Twitter is going to explode, but
it won't.
It's just how do they lose one game and people start fucking.
Are you shitting me? They got mad after a win. They've been mad after wins. Jeez, they're wishing death on their manager after a 14-run victory.
By 14 runs, and people want dude, it was weird. But I mean, there's a lot of good Danny Mendick. I'm becoming a Danny Mendick fan. You know why? Because he's a fucking ball player.
Are you becoming a Men disciple?
I've always been a fan of Mendick, but I'm becoming a Danny Mendick fan because you know what? That guy's a fucking baseball player. He's a player's player. He just wants to be in Major League Baseball where they could tell Danny Mendick he's pitching on Saturday and he'd be like, fuck it, let's ride. You know what I mean? Like they don't care. And
those are baseball dogs.
I don't right. And I don't feel, the same confidence I do when like Jose Abreu or Moncada's up at the plate when he's at the plate, but he'll still fucking go fucking He hit a fucking grand slam against Minnesota. Like he's got some pop in his bat, and the White Sox got a lot of guys. Like you got Danny Mendick, Lurie Garcia, Billy Hamilton. Like these are the guys you need on. These are the guys that if you want to keep talking about World Series DVDs, those are the guys that are in the DVD for like it's like a 2-hour DVD. They're in there for like 6 minutes. But like,
what's his name on the Bulls bench that everyone loved? Dude, the towel guy. Guys always.
Oh, Jack Haley.
Oh God,
Jack Haley.
Was it Jack Haley? I don't know. It's that guy. It's
He
that.
was Rodman's cheerleader.
It's the 12th man
Yeah.
with the towel on the bench. Those guys are just as when they're the fun guys.
But they're producing. They're doing their job. Like you throw Billy Hamilton. Yeah, you're throwing Billy Hamilton in center field. He's making diving fucking catches.
They're the Gary Oldmans of that roster.
And the White Mamba.
Performance players.
The human actors. The White Mamba, aka the Human Victory Cigar. A+ nickname right there. But like Danny Mendick, you're putting him all over the place. He's doing his job. Fucking Jake Lamb's hitting home runs. You know what I'm saying? Like
Brian Scalabrine. Thank you, Beef. Brian Scalabrine.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you got that. That's why he's the Human Victory Cigar.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I didn't mean
But these guys are getting it done. I mean, Zach Collins, I think, is playing above my expectations for him this year. I love that he's hitting a lot of doubles. Love that for him. Love that for you. But like
Beef.
And I mean, it's even on the pitching side of things. We're seeing guys like Dylan Cease. I'm very, very excited. You can tell through my 108 shirt how excited I am. But I am very excited to watch Dylan Cease, Garrett Cole.
Oh, that's going to be nice. This is a whole good series this weekend.
Yes. Well, yeah, let's get into what we got coming up for the White Sox so that we can talk.
It's Yankees, right?
We can talk about the Cubes.
Right? We got the Yankees and the Yankees for the Sox and the Cardinals with the Cubs, right? Is this the two winningest franchises?
It is the first what I call big boy stretch for the White Sox.
Okay.
So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're in the Bronx. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they got the Cardinals on the south side.
Okay.
So the pitching matchups right now for the weekend look like we got Rodon Montgomery on Friday, and then Saturday, 12:05, middle of the day. I love day drinking.
Is it the Fox News or Fox game?
It's going to be a real bad day to be a Busch Light on Saturday because we got Dylan Cease versus Garrett Cole at 12:05 Central Time. I think it's just on Comcast Sports.
That's 10:05 my time. Do you understand that I'm gonna have to get up 10 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday and start drinking?
Dude, I'm
okay.
Yeah, but that is going to be a really fun game. And then Sunday we got Dallas Keuchel versus Talion.
Now is that Sunday night game's the Cubs Cardinals, right? That's not the Yankees.
I believe no. That Sunday's a noon game too.
Okay, for you guys, but I'm saying the Sunday night ESPN game with the bad broadcasters.
Yep.
Are they doing StatCast? Are they doing StatCast Sunday night? Does anybody know? Oh, please.
I would guess yes. But and then I mean we got the Tuesday, and I'm little sneaker here. I'm trying to get tickets to the Tuesday game. Trying to work it because Tuesday is Battle of the Buddies, man. Giolito versus Flattery.
It's good stuff.
I mean, high school teammates, very good friends, very good pitchers.
Expect the best. Expect their best.
They don't want to lose to their friend. It's like if I was pitching against Fids, we're both going out there and throwing till our arms fall off because we have nothing but love and respect for each other, but we want to beat the shit out of each other if we played each other.
Funny too. Pete and I talked about this on the Tainted Glove. By the
way, Flaherty. There you go.
Flaherty. I'm gonna podcast with Mr. Aloha, Mr. Han, and I on the Tainted Glove podcast. If you want to check it out, by the way, it's also at taintedglove.com.
Flaherty. That's what I thought. I thought it was Flaherty.
Anyway, we talked about this too. Both teams are on the road this weekend. Chicago is barren this weekend with baseball. There's nothing to do in Chicago baseball this weekend. The Cubs are in St. Louis. The White Sox are in New York. And now, so what is everybody going to do this weekend? Mow their lawn. Finally, there's a lot of
sit in my garage and crush Busch Lights.
A lot of lawns that need mowing right now, and everyone's going to hit they're going to do the yard work. They're going to go drink mimosas with their wives. They're going to send their wives to brunch. You don't have to worry about it. It's going to be nice. June 4th is Hawaiian Shirt Day. It's just really special. I really appreciate the White Sox making K-Fids Day also Hawaiian Shirt Day at Guaranteed Rate Field.
That's hilarious.
Also K-Fids Day that night. So
that is hilarious. But I mean that's good baseball. I'm excited. Out of these 6 games, if the Sox will pull 4 out of 6, that's a damn good stretch of games. Because it's time to get outside of the division a little bit, play some of these better teams outside of the division. I don't really count that Angels series at the beginning of the year because it's the beginning of the year. But
this is the thing too, though. Last year they didn't get to do this. They didn't get to test themselves against anybody outside of that division, and now they're going to get a chance to really see where they're at.
Right. So this is this is a really good 6-game stretch. Unfortunately, the Monday night game, which is Lynn versus Kim, is on ESPN. But the rest of the games look like it's going to be the Stone Pony.
Stone Pony.
Stone Pony and Jason Benetti. But
is it awkward that today someone did one of those, like, you have to have sex with your third at or whatever, and Steve Stone came up and I didn't flinch. I was like, cool.
Yeah, well, you definitely just got blocked.
Where's it? I don't know. I mean, where's those socks?
But yeah, this is a great weekend for Sox fans. Hopefully the end results equal, the play on the field. Yankees are coming in. Yankees are looking good lately, man. Where are they at?
Judge is having bunches. He's hitting homers in bunches.
Yeah, they're 25-19. I mean, they're at a +15 run differential, but they're getting healthy at the right time. And
about this too, the good teams like them and the Dodgers are finally just it's a matter of time.
And the Padres.
The Padres too. It's a matter of time until the cream rises to the top.
Blowing my mind that people were just like writing off the Padres, like blah blah blah. But
or the Dodgers.
The Dodgers like lost 3 games in a row, and it was like
totally though. Right off the Twins, go for it. It's fine. I know Ozzie Smith did with that
Ozzie Guillen.
Or Ozzie Guillen, sorry, Ozzie Smith.
Calling them guppies and shit. He's digging their grave on TV. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I was loving it.
So I know some people are now worried that, like, what happens when they're 4.5 games back in August?
Yeah.
Bulletin board material. Just don't let them be there. Just kick their dicks in the dirt. Don't let them live.
Right.
Suffocate them.
But we also got a series to pay attention to this weekend, like as I mentioned. I believe, and I'm just going to confirm it before you all yell at me in the comment section. Yeah, we got Minnesota and Cleveland all weekend. Don't know who's pitching for Minnesota, which is hilarious because they don't even know who the hell's pitching for them. But Cleveland's rolling out Mackenzie Bieber and Hendricks. That's a good one.
I love your pronunciations should be
Hendricks.
Should be industry standard. So, like, however you pronounce it, it should be changed.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm just going to start calling guys.
Mendocino would just be Mendocino.
No, he's just Frankie.
Frank. Got the shirt from Frank.
It's all right. Ozzy had trouble pronouncing his name too. Ozzy was just calling him the hitting coach. They were talking about him, and Ozzy's like, I just called him hitting coach. It was awesome. Yeah, that's a great series. Beat the shit out of each other. Hopefully Minnesota can take 2 out of 3 there so the White Sox can just get a nice little cushion in the AL Central. But all in all, man, things are good right now for Sox. I'm very excited for this series this weekend. It's the Yankees, dude. I don't care if they were in dead last place. It's still the Yankees, dude. It's still the Bronx. It's still the house that Ruth built. It's still the pinstripes. It's still it's the fucking Yankees. And if you like baseball, like I love baseball. Baseball is, a big part of my life, and it's the fucking Yankees, dude. Mickey Mantle's my favorite player of all time. Like, it's the fucking Yankees, dude. Like,
and the thing you're looking at this too is you're again, the White Sox are a franchise that is an up and coming franchise right now in the game, right now, obviously. And so whenever there's an up and coming franchise in the game, you always look at, of course, the standard, which is the Yankees. They won't have whatever 20 some odd, whatever. I don't even want
27 rings, bro.
And so they you look at that, and it's always a good, like, when you have that team, it's always nice to cut the throat of the Yankees. Like, it's all the Yankees. Like, when you have a team that's playing well, like 2016, I would love to watch the Cubs that year go against the Yankees. Why? Because it's like, it's our time. You guys have had a lot of time. But this is our time. And so beating up on that standard bearer, I guess you want to call it, is really good. And that's the thing about this weekend too. Like with the Cubs are playing the other, the National League's New York. I mean, no one's near the Yankees. If there is one, it's the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yes.
And whenever, not to mention the fact that it's an actual, like, genuine rival, it goes into
I hate the Cardinals. I don't know why. I just have this, like, unhealthy hatred for the Cardinals.
And it's because Cardinal fans are tool bags. That's
probably it.
Pretty easy. I mean, they're insufferable. They're not like Dodger fans where they're kind of casual. They're intense,
and they're racist, dude. They're racist.
You said it, not me, but you're not wrong.
No, yeah, and it's not all of them. Because I hate when people put an entire fan base into one jar, but they're more known for it on social media. Yeah,
per capita.
But it's the Yankees, dude, and you know what? This is when the White Sox are going to get national attention because the Yankees could take a crap in a bag and light it on fire on the mound, and they'll show that highlight 50 times on ESPN. So
showcase time.
And the players know that. Eloy Jimenez played great in the Bronx the last time they were there. That's where he got his first home run. But if you don't think guys like Yohan Moncada, Tim Anderson, like guys that like that spotlight, like that national attention, are trying to build their own personal brands, aren't going to try to hit that next gear in this series, you're fucking nuts.
Now keep an eye on it too, because this is the old phrase, right? Don't get caught looking at the pinstripes.
Right.
This is a phrase that everyone has used playing the Yankees for decades, and this is the White Sox opportunity. Now, the White Sox actually wear pinstripes sometimes, so that's kind of cool. But the idea is that you are now facing the Yankees in their house. This is the great test where are you guys going to roll in here, and what happens when you're facing the standard? And this is what makes it so exciting, is that the White Sox now have an opportunity to flex, to go out there and showcase. Again, like you said, the Yankees, you take a dump in a basket, and that basket is legitimately going to win an Emmy. So, it's the Yankees dump basket. And this is where the White Sox now are going to get prime. It's going to be you're going to see a lot of, coverage of it. You're going to see a lot of national conversations. They're going to talk about the White Sox, the drama. White Sox fans, prepare for it. The narrative of the weekend is going to be the Tony La Russa stuff. Just get ready for it, because the New York media is going to push it, because the New York media carries the water for the Yankees just as much as most of Chicago Cubs media carries it for the Cubs, and White Sox media likes to twist a knife and just really piss off and troll White Sox fans. That's what I pretty much have at this point. So get ready for it. It's coming, but don't let it take away from the joy of going out there and beating the shit out of the Yankees. Do it. Do it.
That'd be awesome. You know who's ready? You know who's ready for New York? This guy's ready for New York, baby.
So with an all-time tweet as well, with the before hitting a homer and after hitting a homer. Yeah, fantastic tweet. Go like it. He only had 2,500 likes on it. Go add to it.
Where are we at on it right now? We're at 308 retweets and 2.7K likes.
Well, speaking of the again, franchises that have had the success, should we talk a little bit about the Cubbies and what we're going?
Should we just leave Madrigal there? That could be Aldo for the rest.
That is Aldo. So this is Aldo.
That's all.
Is there a way to put like a we could maybe, I don't know, I wish we could put like Aldo under like his little name, but
yeah, that's Aldo.
That's that gold chain. That gold chain actually is one of those thin ones that most of us wear, but it's on Madrigal, so it looks thick as shit. So, but the White Sox the White Sox have the Yankees. The Cubs are shifting on to the to the Cardinals. And this is the first time the Cubs have played the Cardinals all year. And they're trailing the Cardinals. What is it? I think at this point, it's 2.5 games. Is it 3.5 games? I'm not.
I got you. We're all about stats and facts.
We have stats and facts. I don't want to correct me. That's the last thing I want.
As of
3 games back. 3 games back.
3 games back.
And the Cardinals have played today, or are they still going? They have played, so they're good. They're off today. So Cubs have the Cardinals. They're at 3 games back, going into a 3-game series in St. Louis. The Cubs have an opportunity to either take 2 of 3, which 2 of 3 will give them at least a game in the standings. A sweep obviously would put them in first place. That's a really big situation. I don't ever look for a sweep. I'm always looking for winning series. So if the Cubs can go out there, especially on the road, you steal game 1, and then you split games 2 and 3 in the rubber game. You win that rubber game on Sunday on national television. The Cubs have a really good, I think, again, with what the Cubs are going through right now. When you look at what the Cubs have done, especially since April 13th, the Cubs offense was historically bad. And then something happened at midnight on April 12th or April 13th. Nico Horner. Excuse me. I think I said Nico Horner. But anyway, so at that point, the Cubs have one of the top 3 offenses in baseball, period. And the Cubs are playing very good baseball. But Aldo and I had our little stretch where we're like, hey, we'll judge the Cubs after the end of the stretch. They finished that stretch a little bit, I think 1 game over 500. That means that they're legit. Imagine if they had an ace. It'd be cool if they had like a Yu Darvish or whatever. Anyway, but they're now heading with they're heading into this 3-game set. And they're looking at a Cardinals team that's playing good baseball. I mean, I hate to say it because it's the Cardinals, but they're one of the better teams in the National League right now. And this is the great test for the Cubs. The Cubs have this, they just took 3 or 4 from the Nats. Prior to that, I think they had won. What did they? I mean, if you look, what is it? The last 10 games. I think they're 7-3 in their last 10.
Who, the Cubs?
No, they're not. Sorry, 5-5. Sorry, but their last. Let's see here. Let's look at the calendar. Hold on, I want to make sure I do.
I got all the stats up here, man. Just ask.
Got them up.
Keep talking. I got it up, man.
Cubs have since last Friday, the 14th, they're 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 4-2. They're 5-2, 5-2. So again, they're 5-2 in their last 7, heading into the Cardinals. So they're playing good baseball. Again, they're putting teams away, and they're starting to find their bullpen, which is really big. Which means you've got a lot of younger guys like Justin Steele, who has a little bit of an injury today, but you've got these younger guys popping in. The Cubs are finding their bridgers in the 5th, 6th inning, 7th inning, and they, of course, once you're in a game. You can get it to the 7th and you can get to the 8th inning. You've got Chafin. You got Andrew Chafin, and then you've got, of course, the beauty that is Craig Kimbrell, who's been lights out this year as a closer. So really for the Cubs, it's been of how can we get to the 7th or 8th inning with a lead. The offense is starting to put it up there. I think the Red Series really kicked it off. They had that huge beer league softball game where both teams scored like 13, 14 runs.
God damn it. Miguel Sano just hit a grand slam.
He is hot.
Fat fuck.
But this is a good situation for the Cubs. So I mean, like with the White Sox, they're out there trying to showcase their superiority and trying to show that they are the elite team in the league, the team to beat. The Cubs are trying to show that they're back. Like, you know what I mean? So like they have something to fight for. And I like this Cubs team for that reason. I think that they could have mailed it in. This is very easy. They say, they're just going to trade Chris and Javi and Rizzo, and it's all just to say it, and we could just give it up. But you have players like Matt Duffy and Nico Horner that are going out there and they are busting their ass. And now your boy Jock is on fire. Everything he hits right now is a scud missile. He's going to start. If you can bet every game for the next week until he hits a jack, Jock's going to hit it. He's going to leave the yard. He might leave the yard tomorrow. He's hitting hard baseballs, 108
and
miles.
He's growing a mustache.
And he's growing a really, really bad one though too. It's
Yep.
he looks like a Cabbage Patch Kid with some fuzz, but he's getting hot. So again, this offense is there. It's just a matter will the starting pitching hold. Kyle Hendricks is starting to throw well. He's starting to kind of just get in. Adam Davies, we saw today. I told you this before the game. Bet the over on this game because you knew that Trevor Williams was going to give up some runs.
Under hit.
You what?
Under hit.
The under hit for the total?
Yeah.
The whole game?
Uh-huh.
Or I thought it was 10, wasn't it? Or was it 6? Oh, it was 6-3. Shit. Okay, well,
It was 5-2 was the game. It was only 7.
5-2 was the final.
Over under was 10.5.
Oh, okay. And the wind was blowing out. That's right. Well, anyway, Trevor Williams started it a little slow, but anyway, he's been on and off, hit and miss. So the Cubs, the starting rotation for the Cubs needs to get it going. If the Cubs rotation can get the game to the 5th inning, maybe the 6th inning, the offense will give them something. It's not like it used to be. This isn't that same. The Cubs have not done the disappearing offense trick, and it feels, knock on wood, what feels like forever. It has been consistent because what they've done now is they've peppered in non-3 outcome guys into that lineup. Now you got a Nico, you've got a Duffy. Ian Happ is actually starting to heat up now. He's got 2 jacks today too. You've got guys that are no longer just, it's not just a 3 outcome lineup, and all of a sudden things are starting to work. This is why you need 2 or 3 contact guys like a Nick Madrigal, a Nico Horner, a Matt Duffy, you need those guys. You need them to break up the monotony of guys that are going to swing and miss. And the Cubs are starting to figure that out. David Ross is starting to write better lineups. He's feeling his bullpen better. And so you're getting.
It's weird when you add contact guys to your lineup. Yeah. What happens when you add contact guys? But one thing I do want to bring up, you can splurge a little bit here about Nico's glove, dude. Homeboy is throwing it down with the leather out there.
Jesus. I'll say this, and he doesn't have the arm. Okay.
Nope.
And this
But
is not
he's a second baseman.
but he's a shortstop. What I'm saying is if you were to put, I would take his lateral range over Javi's. Javi's got a better arm. But Nico Horner gets to baseballs, especially to his left. His first twitch is exponentially. And if you don't know what a first twitch is, it's that first movement, that reaction time. His first twitch is faster than Javi's, and Javi is fast with his twitch.
Right.
Javi, though, he gets rid of the ball so quick, and he's able to get that arm slot with good velocity. That's the difference between those two guys. Nico's going to get to balls that Javi can't get to. The problem is Javi has that arm. Nico's not going to always be able to make some of those throws from short, but Nico is showcasing that a Javi Baez trade, maybe at the deadline, maybe the Dodgers need a shortstop. They've lost their starting shortstop with a broken hand, and they maybe want to pay. That situation is just as, just like if Chris were traded, Matt Duffy can hold it down at third. Like I hate to say that, but you have guys that are showing themselves, which makes for good for Jed, because now Jed can say, sell me. Why should I get rid of these guys? And
I just want to bring up something very funny right now. On Thursday night, Jacob deGrom is doing a rehab start in A-ball. He's pitched 3 innings and has 8 strikeouts. It's not even fair. I just want to see video of this so bad, because if I'm some kid born in the early 2000s and I'm sitting there like, well, shit, this is what I get. Well, there you go, kid.
I was just playing this guy on MLB The Show last night.
Right. This is what you got to good at hitting kid. Well, even major leaguers aren't good at hitting him. But yeah, that's pretty funny. But
So the big thing with the Cubs right now too, and I'm sure Aldo would want to touch on this if he could ever,
all those pretty much tapped out.
did his AOL kick out? All right, well,
Yeah.
gosh darn it. But you look at the Cubs stats, and again, I've been hard on him. Javi Baez is also having one of those statistical anomaly style seasons. I mean, he's hitting 263. He's got 10 homers, 28 RBI, but he's got a 299 on base percentage. He's hit 10 homers, and he has an 825 OPS. Like he has 15 extra base hits, and he still has his OPS because it's either you get on or you don't, which is so weird. He's like the reverse Yasmani. Like he's the guy that only Ks or only puts the ball in play and doesn't walk, and has a weird stat line that's like on pace for 270 strikeouts, yet he's still on pace to hit like 40 homers and drive in like 120 runs or whatever. It's insane. So he's doing what he does, but he's not a guy that you want in a bases loaded situation with the game on the line. If you've got a guy in the bump that's really good, because he's going to work, he's going to beat him, but he's doing what he does, which is good. Rizzo's getting a little hot, although his back is kind of flared up. Wilson Contreras got hot. Thanks. He went against Lester on Monday, which was great. John Lester, Kyle Schwarber, even Starlin Castro hit a homer. Oh, hell, it was like a reunion. But Rizzo banged his back up a little bit. But Contreras got hot starting, with Lester on Monday, and he hasn't slowed down. He's all of a sudden, you got the Duff Man, who's great. Jock is hot. This is a Cubs lineup the Cubs could feasibly sweep, but I think they're going to take 2 or 3 from the Cardinals. This is a team then that moves into an off day after that series, and then takes on the Pirates, which will be a great get right after that. Even if they suck in the Cardinal series, they can always slump bust on Tuesday with the Pirates. So.
You know who's doing pretty good? This is a kid named Chris Bryant. I mean,
I wasn't going to bring him up.
I know I brought him up because a 1.017 OPS. That's pretty solid. 308 batting average, decent. 10 home runs at this point in the season, good for tied for 5th. 26 RBIs, OBP of 401, slugging 615. I'm pretty sure a lot of those Cubs fans that were saying trade KB are pretty happy they didn't trade KB right now.
I would say that half of them are. The other half say, "Awesome, he's got good value, trade him." They're still holding that line. They're never gonna change. But
you're an idiot. Then I mean, I got another.
Rookie. You can't get a prospect that's going to be a sure thing as much as a sure thing as what Chris is doing right now, playing multiple positions. He's played left, center, right, third, first. I mean, he almost pitched probably in that Rizzo game, which I would have been terrified. And I know Mike's terrified anytime he pitches.
Have a good night, Willie.
But Willie's got, for Willie, it's 4:42 only, so it's really early, but I'm sure Willie's at work and he's got to go to that rush hour traffic there in SoCal. But anyway, so that's where the Cubs are kind of sitting at. But the big thing is that I think Chicago baseball right now, both teams are playing good baseball. Both teams are now relevant in the game, and I think that this is a very good time for Chicago baseball, especially now. What is the capacity at the stadiums there in Chicago?
60%.
So 60%, we're getting there. What is the, I think I saw something today something about maybe tailgates permitted here. Well, really, it doesn't really matter, but for guaranteed rate field, having a tailgate's a nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge for the Lot B crew and everything. And that's to me, that's where you get to see everybody. Because when you're in the game, you're sitting in your seats and you want to watch the fucking game. Unless you're, sitting anywhere near the vicinity of Beefloaf, who just sits there with his hand up in the air like this, and people just come by and, and by he's like the Godfather.
Does he kiss his hand and
yes,
ask for favors?
Welcome to Section 108. Nah, I'm just playing. But when you're in the game, you're like sitting there, you're watching the game. You really only talk to the people sitting in your immediate area. But those tailgates is like I told you when we were talking about when you're coming into Chicago, it's like the scene in Anchorman when they do the news channel gang fights, except not as violent, but you'll be oh, there's the 108 guys over there. Oh, there's the Locked On guys over there. Oh, there's Sox Machine. It's really cool. Yeah, I can't.
I need that for speed, like a speed dating in the 108 for me, because I want to go say hi to so many different people.
Right.
That it's like speed dating for me, because I'm a wanderer anyway at the ballpark. I hope there's not as many regulations as far as saying hi to people. I don't know how that works. I don't even know what that is.
Right.
I might need some Fiddler. Stop, dude. You can't do that, because I'm I want to go hug everybody and say hi to everybody. And
you're coming in what? You're coming in June?
Yeah, June 4th is the game that I'll be at. I'll be at the game on June 4th.
By the time
you will be there too.
By the time June 4th comes around, I think you'll be okay with as far as rules and regulations. I don't know about tailgating. I don't know if they'll pull the trigger on that by then.
Well, then we'll go in a dark alley and drink out of a paper bag, or we'll go to just
we'll just go to Cork at the park or whatever.
Cork and Carry.
Yep. But I mean, it'll be fine
with me. Buy me a beer.
It'll be fine. Yeah. Well,
buy everybody a beer. I'd be too many people to buy beers if I bought beers.
We just gotta keep you upright for 9 innings.
I have to be on a boat the next morning at 11 a.m. too. Like we're going on a
birthday party. Terrible idea.
So that means the next morning is definitely going to be like a energy drink, some Dramamine, and then I don't know.
That is just go
buy some crack or something. I don't know.
That is just not a good idea.
I did that, man. Until you kids, you guys just got to drink. You got to drink fast. Until then you're good. Because on the boat in Cabo, I was hungover that day. I'm like, this is not going to be good. I'm going to puke overboard. And then I'm like, a couple margaritas later, I'm like, this is freaking awesome.
Vid's puking in the boat is like minus 5,000 right now betting.
Really?
Like, yes.
I did puke in the boat in Cabo, and I was eating like ceviche and like shrimp. I don't
know. You don't think all these people that are coming to the game in the comments are like their one goal is just to get you just
try it?
Yeah.
I dare you.
Yeah, you might want to leave your pen at home that day. Just stick straight booze, because.
Oh, yeah. I might. Well, yeah,
yeah. But I don't know. It's a good time for Chicago baseball, man. It's good shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's awesome that both teams are playing well, and I don't know. It's just I can't get over it. I'm so excited for this series this weekend. I just love it when they play the Yankees. So.
Oh yeah, my dad's mayor. Go Yankees! Sorry, I that Saturday Night Live sketch with Chris Farley, so good. But the best part about this too, dude, and you guys are gonna enjoy this. You know, for all the fans, especially. Look, I'm gonna say it every week because I feel like I have to. Because again, I've been a huge fan of White Sox Twitter, even as a Cub fan.
You don't have to say it,
but I'm gonna say it because I feel compelled. Because I tell people, you know what, a good friend is someone that tells people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. And I'm gonna say this right now, White Sox Twitter, love each other. I fell in love with you guys because of the community that you guys have. Take it back, step off from the ledge, start loving up on each other again. Stop these damn beefs and just love one another again. Because guess what? You guys are the best team in baseball. Sleepy manager or not, you guys are all in the same boat. You might be on different parts of the boat, but you're the same boat. All right. And if you're not on the same boat, this thing is if you're not together on this boat, it's gonna make for a shitty cruise, and B, the ship may sink down with the pressure of expectation. So enjoy this stuff. Enjoy each other. Enjoy the debates. Debate lineups. Have fun with it. But let's be nice to each other. Let's love each other. That's the biggest thing that I could say is right now.
That's my thing, though. People don't even debate anymore. It's like, oh, you don't agree with me? Fuck you. Like,
and that's society as a whole too. And I think it takes little things to equal big things. And I think if it starts with a small amount of people, it'll extend to larger amounts of people. But you got to be persistent with it. Just be nice to each other, guys. You guys. We're all in this together, like honestly. And so I don't know. I'm just trying, but also fuck the Cardinals.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
So if you're from Green Bay, you can suck it. But everybody else.
Yep.
Just everybody else.
So hopefully everybody has a good weekend. We got a lot of good baseball this weekend on both sides of town. And then make sure you're following us at Pinwheels Ivy Pod. Aldo is not dead. He just doesn't have internet. So he'll be back next week. Make sure you follow all three of us. All of our individual tags are in the bio. And while you're there, you might as well click the other link and buy a shirt or support the show.
Somebody send me some alert. Somebody send me malort.
Dude, you're going to be here in less than a month. Just get it your damn self.
Shh, don't tell them that.
So, yeah, let's wrap it up now. Coming up right after us, Josh and Jim, Sox Machine.
Oh, Sox Machine. That's right.
Sox Machine's coming up after us. And then after them, you got the good old boys in the 108. So strap it down. I have a feeling they're going to talk a lot more about season tickets and stuff like that. But yeah, appreciate talking to all you guys tonight. And love you guys. And we'll see you next week.
Be good, guys. Be nice humans.
Oh, shoot. All those not here. I got to end it.